Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you. And today's topic for discussion, we're going to talk about getting crypto into the game. And with that, I'm talking about the whole world catching on and starting to catch on to the idea of basically using cryptocurrency more in their daily lives. Now, if you think about the whole world, the majority of the world's public, and they're only interacting with traditional fiat system because of its supposed stability. Well, now more than ever, they have an opportunity, just like you and I have an opportunity to learn, understand, and use crypto stablecoins such as USDC and USDT to basically help turn the bank's fiat system upside down. Now, and basically by using USDC and USDC as a kind of a proxy fiat in this topic right here. Now, Tether, USDT, that is a completely debatable topic and another deep dive in itself if you want to go down that road and if you choose to use them as a stable coin. But basically going along with all of this, sitting and watching from the background and having all of this development with cryptocurrency for most of the large financial institutions has been the plan for the last several years. Mostly banks have been and will be the last one to adopt any kind of formal stance upon policy that'll be, again, debated by and set forth by the governments. But Ethereum has been one of the largest crypto networks, and it's seen over 200% growth in active developers in the past 3 years alone. That's huge. And within 2020 to 2021, we've seen how things have been scaling and getting into the lower fees and developing more into layer 2 with ZK rollups and the layer 2 bridges options that are done by the Polygon network, Hermes, ZK Sync, and of course loopring, bringing fees and basically helping to bridge Ethereum layer 1 to layer 2 and basically unite the community more and more through NFTs and a lot of different ways of assets. But for a few years already, outside of this layer 2 option, we have a company called crypto.com. They've had an approach to the crypto debit card that's taken the overall lead for the past few years with how they want to appeal to the cryptocurrency community. Because pretty much from the outset of this, sitting down at the table of any friends, family, it seemed as a fad, a sham, even a rug pull by the media, public, government officials, even your friends. They don't have a good view about it because they've all tried to spin the narrative as it's not worth your time, it's not worth your money, it's going to come and go. We've seen that. But, well, myself and millions of others out there, just like you out there watching this right there, I like to remind all of them to say, I told you so. I told you so, I told you so. Because the old system of keeping your money in banks and using debit cards and credit cards is going to completely change. The financial game is over. And we're seeing that start from 2020 and even more so as things become more mainstream with the debit card crypto cards. Not just with crypto.com, but there's a couple other new alternatives that are developing and being introduced weekly and even monthly. But since crypto.com has stormed into the scene, many banks and financial systems have been very leery to even take a risk or even test out the whole crypto ecosystem. Yet they take risks with financial markets and stocks and bonds all the time. But this is seen as something completely riskier, which means mind-boggling. Visa, Mastercard, they've been very slow and also standoffish for a long time, kind of testing the waters back and forth, doing a lot of research, a lot of white papers, and trying to teaming up with a lot of different companies. And that's until the past year. Slowly been gearing up and rolling out with more and more support for cryptocurrencies. They're giving users like you and me different ways to utilize our crypto wallets and our assets that we have staked and we're holding with hopefully an ability that we think that will give us quicker and cheaper ways to convert them into traditional currencies for spending purposes. Right? Now, the shift has been very slow because the whole asset class of cryptocurrencies, it can't be ignored anymore. Because before, just Bitcoin and Ethereum. But last year, we had the run on Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, and they started tagging and tag team up with Tesla, payment system, AMC, and even Flexa jumped on the scene to add, with this past month, the 25 days with Flex rewards, adding up to 30, I think about 30 different altcoins to use on their networks. That's fantastic. Now, again, it's just up to the merchants as to how they want to be able to start accepting this. And again, going toward the end of the video, I'll talk about the payment system for the merchants, which is quite something else in itself. But something that I'm looking to get a hold of, and I'm sure all of us out there are trying to get a hold of, is we want to get in the APR, APY. Those are the monthly and yearly returns. Some of these cards up to 1% is not enough. But now Crypto.com is up to 8%, even 12%, staking by various different sorts. Even if you're on Coinbase, Binance, The loopring wallet offers staking, and you get higher rewards than what your bank does, maybe 1%, but that gets even wiped out by all of the late payments, late fees, overdraft fees, and more, so on and on. But you can see how this is a shifting attitude towards the digital economy that happened earlier this year. Mastercard in itself says, you know what, we're not here to recommend you start using cryptocurrencies, but we don't deny that you should be using it. You know, they want to enable the customers and merchants move with the digital wave, move with the way that the people move with the currencies. It doesn't matter if it's traditional fiat or cryptocurrencies. They say, oh, do it however you want. Because again, it's your money. And that's the most important thing. It's your money that you have to be aware about. Now, last week, Mastercard announced it was joining forces with 5 different startup global blockchain challenges. They said it's part of their Start Path Crypto Accelerator program. Great. Well, that's great to see them getting on the ball. But how will it continue on? Time will tell. Now, they already have something called the Voyager cryptocurrency company card, and that brings the USDC as a fully stable coin to come into the common marketplace. This is a very good point, because when people start seeing fiat as a one-to-one, they can understand that a lot better, because it comes down to language, and having a language and words, because words become the world and the world becomes ecosystem. That's very important for the common person to understand. There are a lot of other companies coming in over in Europe. Europe and Asia. For example, there's Ava Labs. They have an AI-centric mobile app called Envel. It's also the peer-to-peer savings platform Cash. They have a crypto rewards program, Nifty Key, and there are also other reward systems that are over here, right here in Asia Pacific alone. Amber, BitCub, and CoinJar. They're going to be soon launching their own crypto Mastercard payment system by itself. This is huge for Asia. If you think about all of the migrant workers that work outside of China around the world, from Vietnam, Indonesia, even Africa, millions and millions of them, and even through India. How many billions of dollars are sent through financial institutions, and they have to pay the middleman, the bank, every single time they send money home? This could be a game changer for them. Very important game changer. And I'm going to talk about in the next video is the possibility for digital reimbursements by evading the banks. Again, the banks are going to be the last one to adopt this, because they have to follow the rules of the government. Where these private companies like Visa, they've already started embracing digital assets with a fervor and a momentum recently in the last 6 months, because they've teamed up with over 60 different crypto platforms, including Circle, BlockFi, Coinbase, FTX, and even Anchorage. bakkt launched its own Visa debit card. All right. Now, each of these different debit cards have their own rewards. Now, the bakkt Visa debit card, they allow you to spend Bitcoin and cash balances from your bank account anywhere you can use Apple Pay or Google Accepted. Coinbase launched their own Visa debit card, right? And if you were familiar with that, I don't know, I'm not really too keen on using Coinbase, especially their own debit card. Fold launched its own Bitcoin cashback debit card, which they offer Bitcoin rewards through a kind of a gamified experience. But again, they do this because they have to say, oh, it's a healthy financial habit. And they're going to be starting to stress this again and again, because building healthy financial habits, because now we have access to use our own money and use it any way we want. And again, this is not just within Asia. It's going to Canada. Montreal-based ShakePay announced its new Visa card, but it's only available right now for beta, and it's a virtual card. And it allows customers to spend Canadian dollars at a physical and virtual merchants. And you can earn Bitcoin rewards in every purchase. Now again, if you hear Bitcoin and Bitcoin announced this, because if you think about what payment system could be coming to replace fiat, stabilizing more currency upon the Bitcoin currency. And that's trading at about 50,000 right now. Will it go up? More adoption? Could. Now, there's another benefit to stable coins and these crypto assets like Ethereum and Bitcoin, because they also come with a capital gains tax burden. This is a big problem for me, as I'm an American, and each country can have its different taxes. But every time you convert to cash and spent it, you have to record that as taxable event. Stablecoins and altcoins added to the list. Again, they're growing in popularity as the layer 2 options for gas fees are coming down. And of course, they're made a lot easily more accessible through exchanges and wallets from Loopring, Polygon, and a couple other exchanges, Crypto.com. But again, this is just the start of this. Even right now, wallet maker Ledger, they have a new crypto life card. I'll be talking about that in another video. I want to get into this more with Ledger and the Tezos cold wallet systems, but it allows holder to obtain a credit by using cryptocurrency as collateral. Now, I've already signed up as on the wait list for the Ledger's new crypto card, about 160,000 person on there. And if you can, what you do is you can sign somebody else to recommend and you move farther up the list. I don't really see a need for that, but anyway. Gonna think about how we need the functionality, right? Because for the most part, we're gonna be doing this on payment cards because we want cash back, referral bonuses, rebates, and even sometimes lines of credit. It has a totally different understanding and value to that. Can be a dangerous thing. But if you take a step back and look at GameStop, for example, they're a merchant. They're charged between 2.5% and 3% as a fee to use the credit card system. Now, for a small business, that can be an average of about $15,000 a year that they have to pay to credit card companies just to use that swiping machine. Now, as a small business, that's a lot of extra money. And that money for a larger business like GameStop could be millions and even hundreds of millions of dollars a year saved that can be turned into higher wages for workers, a lot of different ideas and options. So the possibility of using more cryptocurrencies for a one-to-one against USDC and also USDT for Tether, it's becoming more readily available. But the most important thing is how you want to use your money. How do you want to access your money, and how do you want your money to be used to gain wealth for you? Right now, I feel the best card right now out there is crypto.com. And the other ones really have to see and read the fine print about how your money and assets can be used. It's still in the early stages in development, but looking at this right now, as in the start of 2022, looking forward to the next year, 2 years, it's just, the whole asset class is going to be growing and growing more. And again, banks are going to be the last one to adopt this because they still have to use the SWIFT and IBAN system for transactions. And that's something I've been looking into. They are starting their own, a new system that'll, instead of waiting 2-3 days, it's going to be more instantaneous. But that's going to take some time. And again, they're going to be holding off as long as they can. Because fiat system, it's something of the past. And it's going to be something happening within the next 5 to 10 years. And again, getting access to your own money, putting it to use, having your rewards and cashback savings working for you, nothing wrong with that. So all of you out there, have a great day. Keep gaming the system.